Columbus, Ohio, site of
Oh,
the
but
2018
Yeah, we got to keep that.
the 2018 National Championships of the ACHA. And we welcome you inside the Ohio Health Ice House for game number 6. And this is actually where the tournament starts to get gritty. The play-in games yesterday. Boz Echevarri inside the Ice House with you alongside Jay Sewell. And we're in for kind of a great matchup here. It's the number 13 against the number 4 seed in Ohio University against the UNLV Skate Rebels. And welcome inside the Ice House. And it should be a great matchup here. And this is where the meat of the tournament begins. We have a lot of good hockey ahead of us, and really now it really is a winner go home tournament. I turn the time over to Jay Sewell. We saw UNLV yesterday play.
Yeah, UNLV yesterday did a great job. They played Drexler, and they took the game to Drexler the whole time. I mean, Drexler got to hand it to them. They played all 60 minutes through the entire time, but I tell you, UNLV's skill and their speed just overwhelmed them. They also had a little bit chippy, and they were able to put the body on, and they came away the winner. You know, one of the 4 winners. All the lower seeds yesterday won their games. So that trend continued today with Lindenwood beating Davenport. And so the high seeds are prevailing here. So we'll see if that trend continues or if we can get a Cinderella here like UNLV. They certainly have a shot at it.
UNLV, of course, coming into the post after their win yesterday, they come into the postseason with a record of 1-0, officially on the season 21-9. They beat Drexel yesterday 7-1. They got 2 goals from Victor Brask, who kind of made his name, who's made a name for himself so far in the tournament. He recorded those 2 points, 2 goals. Cody Williams, one of the guys that you might want to keep your eye on. He recorded 4 points yesterday, all of them assists.
Yeah, but he's a junior player from Philadelphia Little Flyers, and I got to tell you, this is the first. I don't know if this has happened before, but this is the first year for UNLV to be in D1, and it's a remarkable turnaround from being a good team, above average team in D2, but to being coming into the tournament the very first time. It's a great story, and we'll see what happens today.
Well, the Ohio Bobcats, of course, the number 4 seed. They were the runner-ups in this tournament last year. A very good team, a very big fan base, just 90-minute drive up north here to Columbus. One of the things that we got to mention here, Gianni Evangelisti, 47 points on the year, 15 goals, 32 assists. One of the players that we might need to keep our eye on in this tournament.
Yeah, another junior aide from US. The URL, just a great player. Played for the South Shore Kings before coming here, but they got another player on the team from the South Shore Wings. So they've got some Frank. Number 21 Frank is part of that crew, and remarkable recruiting job by Ohio to pick up these U.S. Juniors as well as this Canadian junior teams.
A lot of point getters on this Ohio team. One of the things that we should mention before we get down to the introductions. These 2 teams did meet earlier in the year. They met back in October 13th and 14th. It was a 2-game sweep by Ohio at Ohio's barn. They won 3-1 and 7-1.
Yeah, and they spread out the scoring. You know, if you look at their stats, they have more than half a dozen players in double-digit goals, and then even more in assists. I mean, it's just a remarkable team. Very, very balanced. It's not a 1-2 line. You're going to see four lines roll over the boards and see if they can take their game to UNLV.
For UNLV, it was Elijah Barriga and also Sachs, Jake Sachs, who were the goal scorers for UNLV. UNLV only 2 goals in that series. Their goaltender in Ben Geisbrecht, he lasted 1.5 games before being pulled midway through the second. For Ohio, their starting goaltender in Jimmy Thomas, he played both games and only allowed 1 goal in both of those games.
Yeah, he's a tremendous talent. I mean, this kid came out of the Jersey Hitmen, U.S. Junior A, and he sees the puck so well. Even when he's blindsided, he has again, there's 5 positions that they always work on in the goalie in the butterfly position, and you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you can't see, it's drilled into you. This is where I drop. I know where the puck is. I can't see it, but I drop right here, and he covers the net very well.
Well, fans, we welcome you here in a very good morning or good afternoon wherever you are. And for the particulars of this 13-4 matchup, we send it down to ice level and PA announcer Andy Storrs.
Let's meet the starting lineups for this afternoon's game. First, for the visiting bench, the UNLV Rebels. In goal, a freshman from Langley, British Columbia, number
And we welcome you back inside the Ohio Health Ice House for game number 6 of this Division I National Tournament. Before we get to the particulars of before we get to the puck drop of this matchup, introduction of the goaltenders, starting for the visiting UNLV Rebels, Ben Geisbrecht. He's coming in with a record in the regular season of, let's see, where did he go? He's coming in
10-4.
10-4 on the year. And he's coming in with a 91% save percentage. In goal for the Ohio Bobcats, number 30, Jimmy Thomas. Jimmy Thomas coming in with a record of 25-9, a .219 goals against average, and a 92% on the saves for this year. all but a home matchup for the Ohio Bobcats. Again, only 90 minutes away from their campus. Their fan base made the trip up, and in a way, a true away game for the Skating Rebels of Las Vegas. Boz Echevarria alongside Jay Sewell, we welcome you and thank you for joining us this broadcast of the ACHA National Championships. Face-off one here near side and was aimed for Pulaski's. Back into their own zone goes Ohio, played in the corner, and up ahead was looking for Pokorny. Play goes up off the half boards up to the point. Shot here and might have hit an Ohio player. The shot in by Jake Sachs. Back into the UNLV zone, the play goes. Into the corner and up ahead for Kazupski. With speed through the neutral zone, got it up ahead. Shot here and into the numerals of the goaltender in Jimmy Thomas.
Yeah, 3-on-2 coming up the ice. It's hard to say whether you have an advantage or a disadvantage having played already. I mean, I think the goalies have an advantage for UNLV in the fact that they've got all their sight lines after playing on this rink. And, Ohio's got to get into the game here. So we've got a shot on goal already by UNLV.
Mayer and Lubin, the centers, doing battle in the face-off circle. Now giveaway here, shot by UNLV and blockered up and kind of in danger as that was blocked straight up.
Yeah, that's hard when you're looking up. You've got to always worry about getting pasted by somebody. It's like that wide receiver being vulnerable.
Lubin with he looked for the pass here. He had an opportunity for a shot here, but thought of the pass. Play into the corner. Now D pass up across for.
Almost another giveaway by Ohio there, but they recovered and they're at the center line trying to dump it in and see if they can get some zone time here.
Now back the other way. Play for Asaf. We got a couple of goals. Good to see him on the ice. He took a brutal hit in the corner yesterday.
Yeah, a little bit of ice work in the tub and probably good to go, and the trainer's working on him a bit.
Up through the zone was Barriga and hopped over the stick of Thomas.
Another
Knifed off of
giveaway.
His stick, yep. In the corner play goes, and DD pass from Hazel. Now back to the point, shot here in front of a Ohio player. It should be known that Ohio hasn't played a game in 2 weeks. Now back to the point here. Hazel with a shot glove save by Geisbrecht, and off of Ohio's first shot with 17:59 left.
Yeah, puck came right up the slot. Perfect sight lines for the goalie. And here we go. It's game on. And I don't see any fear by being a lower seed and a play-in by Las Vegas. They seem pretty strong in the opening couple minutes here.
Now, Jay, do you think the game yesterday that UNLV played kind of gives them the advantage considering that they found the rhythm midway through that second period?
I think that helps, but also you just wonder about the fatigue. Back-to-back is always something, but again, you're playing a team that hasn't played at game speed now for big hit right up in the grill of...
Back to the point, looking for a stick, and might have gone off the stick of Geisbrecht. Into the corner, Williams goes up ahead. And now bringing the puck out is Gordon.
Yeah, UNLV's breakout out of their zone has been pretty good here in the opening 2.5 minutes.
Off the bench, the puck went, so face-off should just come out, and does.
Looks like they're putting out their number one line here for Ohio again. Huge scoring line. These guys again, but it's a balanced attack that Ohio has. Anybody on the ice has the ability to score.
Evangelisti, you'll want to keep your eye on him this tournament throughout the season. 35 points on the year, 18 goals, 17 assists, so a well-balanced player out of the center position. Now back as Fiala goes into the corner, and up ahead was looking for Evangelisti. Now up behind him as Evangelisti lost an edge.
Yeah, it's always frustrating on new ice when you blow that tire.
Oh, a cheeky pass there by Pokorny.
Yeah, that was a thing of beauty. Little back behind the legs. That was fun.
Back behind his own net goes Houston, and now with speed out of his zone. Pass up ahead for Turnow. Turnow guides it in, and into the corner plays goes. Looks like Toronto went in there, and UNLV with possession. Out of their own zone, and up ahead for Robin. Turnover here for Rudin. Angled off.
It's going to be an icing.
And the Bobcats have iced the puck.
Yeah, it's been a back and forth right now. I mean, this is again, as you said earlier, we had I don't know if to call them out. They play-in games or what yesterday, but you know they're the higher seeds, and then have to get into the as you said, the meat of the tournament now, and we're going to have some really good hockey here today.
Well, the technical definition would be a play-in. We had 4 play-in games and a lot of high drama, especially late in the day 1 games of the ACHA Division I National Tournament.
Yeah, we saw some good hockey yesterday.
This one goes into the netting, so it'll stay in the UNLV zone.
Yeah, and I got to say, it's apparently we have the ECHL training crew out here on the ice, and yesterday's games, I at this level at ACHA, I've never seen better roughing at a tournament. They let the ticky-tack stuff go. They let the boys decide. Unless it was egregious behind the play, play went on. And these guys you can tell they've seen a lot of hockey, and they know what they want to call and not call, and I think they did a great job yesterday. It was consistent all 4 games.
They also had their hands tied with a kind of a controversial review call on a potential goal. Now Lubin with speed into the offensive zone. Backhanded attempt was probably looking for the stick of Matthew Rudin. Shot went wide and around the end and off of a UNLV player and stayed in the zone.
Oh.
Now picking it up was Lawson, but Ohio offside.
Yeah, they got getting a little bit of stick work in here between number 19 and 22 Ohio. It's this game is again, UNLV never wants to back down to anybody. They'll stand their ground, and I don't think they're going to get under their skin. But that's what Lubin's trying to do here.
Of course, UNLV taking the 7 most penalties in the ACHA Division I this year. So far, a clean penalty sheet for the Rebels.
Yeah, that's kind of their mode. They even in D2, they were one of the more penalized teams, and that's just the style that their coach is, getting your grill style. Up
ahead for Cody Williams, who tried to dump this one deep, hopped over the stick of Thomas. Now into the corner. Near side half boards, UNLV still with possession. Now finally out, as with the puck there is Harkins. Harkins had this one knocked off of his stick in a DDD pass for Hetzel. Hetzel was looking for Brett, couldn't find him, and back the other way as into his own zone to recover the puck is Connor Hetzel.
Yeah, we're not able to see the bench here, but yesterday and even right now, UNLV had a little trouble getting their 5th man out. I don't know if there's a drop to the ice or if the door catches or what, but yesterday we had a couple of crazy ice changes, player changes, and that didn't go unfortunate, but could have.
Craddock had this one knocked off of his stick. They have to get back on side. Now Black in his own zone. Shot here well high as it missed everyone. And out of the Rebel zone, Craddock DDD to Hazel. Now near side. Up ahead for Brett behind his own net. Ohio having trouble to get this puck out. Into the corner, and finally Ohio has a chance to get this one out. Trying to glove that down was Lamper. This might go for icing, and Ohio has iced the puck with 14 minutes left here in the first. All right,
yeah, had the angle on him, and good effort, but number 28 on UNLV had the line.
First period here, first game for Ohio. How much of an adjustment period does it take to come back after not playing for 2 weeks and then playing a top 20 team here in UNLV?
Well, I didn't play at this level. I only got to the high school level, but it took about 2 shifts before you actually felt good and relaxed. I mean, your first one, you're just gripping the stick. You got butterflies. It takes those first 5 minutes to let the dust wear off.
Shot here from Lampton went wide. Now back out in front and trying to get a shot off with Jenkins. Angled off the end boards here. We're corralling it is Toronto. And Toronto up ahead for, that's Brask. Excuse me, that was Robin who had the puck. Into the corner, plays goes. And intercepted by Pearson.
Yeah, what we just talked about again with the dust, the UNLV is having a lot of takeaways in the Ohio half sheet.
Now back goes Picorni and will lead the breakout for Ohio. Evangelisti with speed through the neutral zone and walked off by a couple of Rebels. Now Picorni tried to get a shot off. It went into the skate of a Rebel player, and this one guided up ahead and guiding this into the corner, as he didn't like what was coming his way, was the goaltender and Jimmy Thomas. Now Evangelisti. A shot here went wide and a close opportunity for Ohio. Evangelisti behind the Rebel net, and a stoppage here as Geisbrecht saw enough.
Yeah, I tell you, Hetzel had the right idea. He's got probably the best player on the ice coming down, and he wasn't puck watching at all. He looked right at Evangelisti's chest and said, "Wherever you go, I go. I'm not going to play the puck. I'm going to play the body." And again, that's well coached defensive man.
Shot here, and turning is Geisbrecht.
Well, sorry about the background sound if you can hear that. Somebody went through a door that says emergency exit only here behind us.
Yeah.
And it's pretty obvious you're not supposed to go through there, but apparently the gentleman in the suit here decided that didn't apply to him.
The American language sometimes very hard to master, and reading it sometimes even harder. Now Lubin had his stick lifted, but still got the shot off. Lubin now back for his defensive man there, and Baird with a shot here, scramble in front here, and turned away by Geisbrecht. Play goes in the corner, now up ahead, and UNLV trying to clear this one out. Williams gives chase, but Ohio keeping this one in, and that was Lubin who was keeping it in. Back out looking for Rudin. Play goes in the corner as it went off of his skate. Now Lubin still in the corner. Support there by UNLV, a 2-on-2 battle. Where now Rudin had to go back up along the half boards.
Yeah, there you go. They got the Rebels on their heels a little bit here as they're eating the battles winning the battles on the boards and also the stick battles.
Now chased out where Plonsky will take cover here.
Good shift by Ohio Bobcats.
11:36 left here in this first period. Now Evangelisti kind of pickpocketed the player there, was looking for a centering pass, and it was sticked off there by UNLV, taking away the passing lane. Skied up here and grabbed down by Hazel. Up back into the neutral zone where Evangelisti will just get this one back in as Ohio goes for a change. Crane Dahl, the lone Bobcat in there, who was applying the forecheck.
Supports
Near boards here, and a good stick there as Evangelisti had to get out of the zone as the puck may have come offside.
That was a great display of Evangelisti's hands. Did you see how he moved that puck? Never came off his tape, and he did about 3 dipsy doodles there all right in a row.
Going back and have to regroup as Ohio, as Hazel just dumps this one in. Coming off for a change is Turnow. Now UNLV up ahead. Was looking for the stick of Sheldon Brett. Couldn't find him.
Everybody looking around to see if that was going to be an icing, and no hand came up, so everybody had to keep going.
Now Black. Black being watched by 2 Rebels and was guided off the puck there. Up ahead, gloved down by Ruiz. And turning back his own way and angled off the net here. Still out in front and stoning him. Shot here, still out in front as Geisbrecht doing his job to keep this a 0-0 game.
Wow, Geisbrecht's heart must have been racing there. There was about three potential scoring chances right in a row there within about 2 seconds.
Now back as Toronto settle things down a little bit. Angle this one up, but not out of the zone as Braddock now has it. Up ahead, shot here, fanning on it was Elmore.
I mean, it's a complete turnaround from the first 6 minutes, like we said. I think the dust is officially off the Ohio Bobcats.
Lawson was being watched there, and getting tangled up was Toronto up by the face-off dot near side. Lamprun had to evade a Rebel. Now Frank, the half boards, evades a defender. Nice spin move there to try to get away. Now back down as this one is punched out.
Now you can't get called for a hand pass if you never have an open hand.
Houston now here, shot here, and Geisbrecht will put the glove on this as we reach the 9:06 mark of the first period, and we'll pause momentarily for this break. Still 0-0 after the first 10 minutes.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, the official merchandise sponsor of the ACHA, Howie's Hockey Tape, the official hockey tape of the ACHA, and by the Three-Legged Mare, located right in the heart of downtown Columbus.
And we welcome you back here to the Ohio Health Ice House, the practice facility located just as adjacent to Nationwide Arena. Jay Sewell, Boz Echevarri with you on the call, and for the most part, a pretty eventful first period. A lot of exciting plays, but no goal so far.
Yeah, it was almost like if you ever seen that movie Glory Road, where the Texas Miners are taking it to the Kentucky. The coach tells the Kentucky Wildcats says they came to play, and I think that's what the coach must have told the kids on the Ohio bench. Like, hey, they came to play. We need to step it up, and you saw that. All of a sudden, the switch turned at the 9-minute mark, and all of a sudden, their game came to Ohio. It's very, very impressive to see them wake up.
Had a chance to meet with a couple of Ohio players before the game. They were ready for a tough matchup between the Rebels. Of course, they did meet earlier in November of last year, kind of the beginning of the season. Matchup, a sweep by the Bobcats. Now here for Jenkins. Shot here, pad save, rebound saved again.
Wow, he's flashing that leather. I tell you, that left or right foot came out and kicked that second rebound that he gave up out. Remarkable.
A golden opportunity for Ohio, and they just couldn't convert on it. Now back out as Lamprin takes a shove there, rather rudely applied by Plonsky.
Well, that's part of the repertoire that they have, is they need to play a physical game to keep that space down, because they're so fast, the Ohio team, that you got to close that gap. Gap control is going to be a big deal here for UNLV to stay in this game.
Houston now out here near side for Jenkins, and up ahead was looking for Lubin. Watched by a couple of UNLV players down low. It's still battle on the boards, right in front of the UNLV bench. Sticked up by Harkins, and now just punched forward, and it's going to be a hand pass against UNLV. The faceoff comes in UNLV's defensive zone.
So apparently a hand pass trumps a high stick, because it's a high stick first. That guy just swung at it. I mean, that was well above the crossbar. That was actually about 4 feet above Jenkins' head.
Well, we'll have to go through the USA rulebook, but I do know a high stick in the USA hockey rulebook is relative to the shoulders of the player.
Yeah. Had that stick over his head.
Not sure what the trump card's in there. Battle on the boards there. It's Rudin for the Bobcats as he takes a tumble as that was punched out of the zone. Now to UNLV, and we're going to have a penalty to the Rebels.
I couldn't tell, was that called from behind? No, apparently coming up ice, because the Ohio player looked back to see if he was going to get a trip as it was coming out, but there was a hack.
So it's a slash against Colby Daniels. And it'll give Ohio their first power play of this tournament.
Yeah, the chirping started as UNLV went by the bench. The Ohio players were yelling at UNLV, and UNLV was taking no prisoners, shouting right back.
We'll reset and do this one again. 7:47 the start time of this power play. Face off one, back to Houston. Houston was thinking about firing from the point, but just going to decide to try to set up this power play. Now this one sticked off and corralled by Evangelisti. Now back down to Houston. Evangelisti up at the point. DD pass to Hazel, and it didn't go in! My goodness! What a bonanza on that shot. Hazel back down low for Rudin.
That caught everybody by surprise, maybe even Hazel, the way that puck just jettisoned off his stick. What a rocket ship.
Shot here over everyone off the inboard glass. Up into the corner, play goes. Battle in front of there as almost everyone's there trying to get possession here. About 72 seconds left on the penalty to UNLV.
Yeah, they're doing a good job grinding on along the bench there, taking time off this power play.
Evangelisti with a shot went off for Rebel player, and the Rebels get it out. Now Evangelisti hustling here. He gains the zone onside. Back to Houston. Houston turns it back low for Evangelisti.
Only one player for UNLV got off.
Back out here, threaded through, and was looking for the stick of Hazel. Now finally back out as UNLV, and a hip check here, and evading it was a UNLV player.
Good play for UNLV to get their tired guys off the ice.
Now back the end boards as Fiella will have to go and grab it. 28 left. See if Ohio can get another rush. Now for Plastics, and this one went over everyone, and looks like this is going to stay in the UNLV zone with 18 left on the power play.
Yeah, it must have come off a UNLV stick. It's hard to tell with how fast as both these teams are and the power they have on their sticks. And most of these kids, almost every one of them have played juniors or as a college transfer. And so they've had a lot of hockey at a very high competitive level in their careers.
Fiella just dumps it back down for Plastics. Now up and into the netting. And the faceoff will stay in the UNLV zone.
So if you're watching at home, that was a perfect example of position 3 for the goalie. He had a person in front of him. He heard the shot come out from the point right down the slot. He just drops, and that's what you do. You just drop. You cover the bottom. Best shot in hockey is about 6 inches off the ice, coming in real fast.
This one soccered up ahead by Picorni, and not able to keep it in was Picorni. Now back the other way as Fiella will have to circle around as the penalty expires. Good opportunities there for Ohio. That's a good first power play despite the no goal. Now Plastics with speed, and he tried to fire and couldn't get a handle on the puck. UNLV the other way, angled off the boards, as now coming in applying a check is Lawson. And we're going to have a penalty here. And I believe that.
Yeah, there's a little bit of action down there.
So a slash. And this will put UNLV on the power play.
Yeah, we'll see. Be able to see both power plays and both penalty kill groups. Well, must have chopped his stick in half. The players looking around for it, although it was Ohio stick, but
that's an expensive break.
Those are expensive breaks. They're not giving those things away anymore.
Well, 2 minutes as UNLV will go on the power play, and getting kicked out of the circle was Joe Kozubski.
Yeah, you got to wonder if they put 2 centers on the ice or they left it the way it was. Ooh, that's scary. There's nothing worse than lobbing in, and all of a sudden I think that's how Miami of Ohio lost a game once in the last few minutes of the NCAA Frozen Four.
Now with speed, out and cleared away by, I believe that was Houston. Good shot there by Barriga. Now Toronto from the blue line walks over to the far side point. Now walks in, below the red line, looking for someone out in front. Still out in front, now cleared away by Evangelisti. So the goaltenders in this first period doing a good job of keeping the shutout alive. That was Cameron Frink who tried to stick handle through a couple of defenders. And now Black out of his own net is Geisbrecht, and look out.
I'm not going to say it, Boz. Talking about goalies coming out of their nets.
And then Toronto gets this one up. Knocked off the stick was a puck off of Briga. Now down this way goes, I believe that was Fiella, now in the own zone. Fiella out in front, was looking for him. Geisbeck had that play read, but I don't know if he saw Fiella coming.
That was a sneaky move by Fiella. Nice hands on that lad.
Good job going to the net there. Now Hazel in the corner, backhands behind his own red line with 30 seconds left on the UNLV power play. Back up out to the point. D-to-D pass. Now come near side.
A little give and go here.
Into the corner. Now back to Asaf. Asaf with a shot here. Traffic out in front. This one out of the zone as the much appreciative Ohio crowd gives their applause.
That was a good attempt, to keep it on the perimeter, go around. You could all of a sudden, while everybody was watching the 2 D-to-D guys pass, 3 forwards collapse in to get that ricochet coming off of either skater or stick.
Now back Ruiz will have to play it behind his own net with 3 minutes left here in this first period. Up off of Houston's skate, where UNLV corrals it now for Brask. His shot here turned away by Thomas. Up ahead for Crandall and out of the zone, Ruiz. Tries to get this one back in, and onside was UNLV. This one sticked off. And back for Hetzel. Hetzel for Ruiz. Ruiz ran into by Elmore.
Yeah, he ran out of time and space on that. Kept backing into the boards, and he got caught up along the boards. Still managed to get into the zone.
Good stick there by Craddock to block that pass. Would have been a 2-on-1 opportunity if Craddock didn't hustle back. Now Houston up ahead for, I believe that is Crandall. Shot here, out in front, shot, glove, save by Geisbrecht.
That puck was going far side and the glove side, and just a flash of the leather there by Geisbrecht. Nice play.
A shot of beauty, but an even better save by the netminder from UNLV.
It's interesting, the shot selection that they've had so far is they've been getting Geisbrecht to move off to his right, and then they've been trying to get at his glove most of this period.
Now down low, almost last 2 and some change in the period 1. Now down low for Lampon. Still out in front here. Play goes in the corner, maybe a hook given to Jenkins. Jenkins still on the boards. Lamp run and Jenkins. That's a good battle down there at the end boards. Now Jenkins below. Still out in front here. And
right through the crease.
Frank had his stick tied. Back the other way. Play goes as Sachs leading the charge. Into the skate of, I believe that was Grant Hetzel. Or Hazel, excuse me. Ohio back the other way. A 3-on-2. And a great stick by Jonas Gordon. And the Rebels have iced the puck. That's a long shift for the Rebels.
That was a really long shift, broken stick and all. It's good of the gentleman to just drop it. When you got a crack, you cannot play with a broken stick. You've got to drop it right away, otherwise you're into the box.
90 seconds left.
Both teams had chances on the shift, back and forth. This is a good hockey game. Both clubs playing their system exactly the way their coach laid it out for them.
Now Picorni, he tried to walk in the middle. Lubin kept it in. Now Lubin back in. Shot here and a save from the Rebels. Goaltender and Geisbrecht. Oh, giveaway here and offside were the Rebels. Maybe just barely, and a couple of shoves after the whistle. And with Picorni involved with that little scuffle.
Yeah, that was really close. It's he put the body in over the puck. It wasn't another player that went over, so he had the speed, he had the angle. He was almost all in by himself.
71 seconds left here in the first. Face-off win from the Rebels. Toronto thought about just dumping this one in and finally does. And it's on net. That'd be turned away by Jimmy Thomas.
Another almost giveaway by Ohio.
Now up ahead, let's go Bobcats to chant as we enter under 60 seconds. Up ahead, finding the stick of Williams, and it was a little bit behind him. Now Harkins had to handle this one away. Up ahead. Shot here from Lubin, up in. I believe that was a blocker save, and it did touch the netting over the glass. So with 37:5 left in the first, face off to the glove side of Ben Geisbrecht.
Well, the last 2 minutes, both chances, both sides have had great chances to get scoring chances. Referees are discussing something. See if somebody gets tossed out here.
Face off one back to Ohio, went over the stick. Now crashing in hard. I believe that was Gordon up ahead and now behind the end boards back to the point. Shot here from Hazel. That went wide, turned away by Geisbrecht. Last 24 as Turnow had to go back. Stick down as Evangelisti will just angle this one off the boards. And into the zone, Geisbrecht clears this one off the glass. Out of the zone, Ohio will have to catch up, or tag up, excuse me. Kozubski shot on net turned away by Thomas. He gloved it down. Last 4. And back to the point as this one hops all the way out. And that will do it for the first 20 minutes here in Columbus, Ohio of game number 6 between Ohio and UNLV. A kind of a fast first period, no goals, a lot of great goaltending.
Yeah, only a couple of penalties. We've got some slashing calls and a little animosity building, but fast skating. I got to tell you, this is an exciting hockey game. Both players, both teams, seem evenly matched despite the seed disparity in the play-in by UNLV. They don't show any signs of being tired after playing yesterday, and of course Ohio's gotten the dust off. That's pretty obvious from the 9-minute mark on.
Well, an eventful first period, and after the first 20, we have no score from the Ohio Health Ice House. We'll take a short break, and we'll come back with the second period. And we welcome you back here inside the Ohio Health Ice House for game number 6 between Ohio State and the UNLV Skating Rebels. Thank you for joining us on the ACHA National Championships YouTube page, wherever you might be watching around the country. And if you are on the West Coast, we like to say a very good morning to you, albeit a very late morning if you're just joining us. For you guys on the East Coast, in the Central Time Zone, or maybe in the Mountain Time Zone, we like to say good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, in a very pleasant Friday and end of the work week for most individuals.
Yeah, it was a pretty exciting first period, I tell you. UNLV had the scores, had the upper hand in the first 9 minutes. They were getting they were taking takeaways in the zone. They had half the sheet to themselves. And again, I think that was just a rust needing to come off of Ohio not having played in 2 weeks. And all of a sudden the switch turned on, whether it be the coaches' comments on the bench or the kids themselves realizing that UNLV did come to play. And all of a sudden the switch turned, and all of a sudden the Ohio was just putting the wood on and getting pucks to the net left and right. And we had a shot from Hazel that I tell you, so far in the 5 games I've experienced here and watched, absolutely amazing rifle shot that kid had. It was just coming right down the slot, almost head high, just right at the bar. And Geisenbrecht he's been remarkable today.
Well, face-off win here for Ohio as they try to build on some momentum. A lot of good scoring opportunities in the first period for them. Evangelisti off the end boards was able to get it back to his teammate, and now up ahead near side point. Just sent right back in as Turnau will give chase and rubs into Jonas Gordon. Now UNLV will try to angle that one out, and a bad clearing attempt there by number 36 in Sheldon Brett.
Yeah, Brent had no puck support at all. They just isolated him. Everybody walked away from him, and they just left the poor lad sitting along the boards with no options.
Picorni, he kept it in momentarily. It was rubbed off by a couple of UNLV players. And turned back is Jake Sachs, who got 2 goals yesterday.
So I don't know if that was been the strategy, but right now in this for the first minute, Ohio's been able to keep the Rebels along the boards. They're not giving them anything up the middle of the ice.
Now Sachs from just outside the top circle, and it was a save by Thomas, and made that look rather easy. Back the other way goes Picorni, and Ohio onside backhand attempt here, and turned away by Geisbrecht. Back the other way, and a little too far out of the outstretched stick of Zach Lawson.
That's what coaches constantly preach all the way from when you're back in Pee Wee's all the way up through is show them your stick, not your butt. I mean, when you're skating away from your player, give them a stick, something to aim at.
And Toronto now got this up, and fanning on the passing attempt there was Houston. Now back down low into the corner. Rudin does get this one out, and icing waved off as going back to play this is Basil Asaf. Up ahead, and Ohio now onside. Drop pass there, and was looking for Lubin. This one into the corner and sticked away by Toronto. Fanning on the clearing attempt there was Zach Lawson. Now back, and Ohio has to tag up. Toronto gets this up ahead for Barriga. Barriga with a shot into the skate of Houston. Good stick there by Cameron Fink, and we will have a penalty. It's going to be a high stick.
Yeah, it was behind the play. Those are aggravating the coaches. It's one thing if you're trying to prevent a hockey play from being made or a scoring chance, but to take those behind, get your emotions up a little bit. And second guy, I didn't actually see if it was the first or second infraction, but as it goes in hockey, usually the second guy is the guy who is actually spotted for the penalty.
So both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. UNLV will get the first crack at power play number 2. And a win back to Fink. Now back to Toronto, back to Fink at the point. And Barriga had this one deflected off of the stick of Fiala. And Fiala now back, just sends this one deep. Where Geisbrecht lost it, black out in front. Geisbrecht still out of position, and just coming off of his tape was Black.
Yeah, he's having a couple words with his defenseman back there. Like, how does this happen? How did I end up doing all the puck work here?
Now Fiala had stepped right into a player there in Pariga.
Good full court press, as they say in basketball here by Ohio on UNLV. And this is going to go for icing. Maybe not.
Now Houston turned away. Play goes in the corner there. Looks like Williams, who's being watched here by Houston, into the corner. Now support from the Rebels. Evangelisti joined that support group as now UNLV comes away with the puck. Shot here and well wide of the net.
It's the only option he had. Nobody was looking for him.
Daniels. Now Daniels at the point, walks towards a very high slot in the middle of the ice there. Now back for Daniels.
Tried to get Kalipski on the tip in.
Watch there in the corner. Play goes by Pearson and finally out the other way. On that rush there is Evangelisti. He's been a top goal scorer for the Bobcats, and interestingly dropping it, trying to play it back, was Geisbrecht. Almost ran into some trouble there.
He was trusting that Evangelisti with that speed was not going to be able to stop and pick that puck up, and he guessed right, because that was more of a guess than a no.
Now Mayer in the corner, up to the point. D-to-D pass, looks like that is for Daniels. Now Daniels for Asaf. Back to Daniels down low with 3 seconds left. Back for Asaf, a shot here and blockered away by Thomas. Up out of the zone and now just come out of the box is Jenkins. Jenkins
2-on-1
now for Evangelisti. Evangelisti with a shot that went off the mask of the goaltender in Geisbrecht.
Both goalies wearing white face masks. It's always interesting to me because shooters are looking for white space.
Now Evangelisti just guided this one in, and it was corralled by number 21 in Jonas Gordon.
Yeah, on that power play, I think what UNLV needs to do is they need to do some look-offs. I mean, if you looked at they were passing, they were looking at each other the entire time. Not one guy was peeking at the goal, and so it's pretty easy to pick off if you're a PK watching the eyes of the penalty, the power play kids. And you're on the corner, you gotta look that player off in either a fake pass or a fake shot, and there was none of that by UNLV.
UNLV screaming for a penalty right now. Something happened behind now. Elmore with a shot and staying calm, and a couple extracurricular activities between Jake Sachs and Kyle Craddock.
Yeah, teams are going to back down. It's just going to be a war of words now because nobody can afford to get tossed from this game or get a 5-minute major for either dropping a glove, and that can happen even accidentally, even if you don't want to. You don't want to be punching heads.
14:33 left here in this second period, middle frame here.
Good patience by the referees on that, by the way. I'm not making a call.
Back shot here and hit the side of the net. Maybe a trip by Geisbrecht on Craddock. Now still in the zone. UNLV going to try to break this one out. Finally out of the zone. Lawson leading the charge, and he just dumps it in a goal. It's all the way around the boards. Punched up and through by Schlitt. Back is Ruiz, and Ruiz will just dump this. And UNLV has iced the puck.
Yeah, that was interesting. You can almost wonder, again, we talked yesterday on the broadcast that there's been no intentional offsides being called all day yesterday. That could have been one, especially when the ref's shouting after you, shouting off, and you still send it in. But all this year, the games that you and I have broadcast, we have yet to see it. It's kind of a dinosaur now, I guess, in hockey.
Bit of some gamesmanship as Schlitt came out and he took his time getting back to the bench. Maybe giving his teammates a break there as a soft back out on the ice. Face-off win by UNLV. Up ahead and leading the charge is Brass. Brass got 2 goals yesterday, and an opportunity goes by the wayside. Now sticked away out in the middle. Around the puck is Asaf with a shot that goes off a couple of Bobcat players. Asaf keeping it in. Now goes far side boards at the point. Thought about just guiding this one in. Turnover here. Back the other way plays goes. Leave that's Jenkins. Jenkins with a shot, and it went over Geisbrecht.
Yeah, he didn't have any other option to shoot. Good play, though, by Ohio to come up to the neutral zone with that kind of speed.
Now Jenkins down below the red line, out in front, and Frank was there as there up in the high slot. Couldn't find him. Jenkins was in this high slot, now unmarked. Now down low is believe that is Houston. Up and over the net as Frank goes out in front, still out in front. Shot here, and it hit a UNLV player out in front. Now Frank tried to corral this behind the red line, and the play corner goes up to the point. Trying to keep this one as Houston. He gets this one back in deep as playing in the corner was Jenkins. Now back out as Turno tried to keep it in, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah, end-to-end action here, and both teams scrambling in their own end. Lots of chaos going on the ice right now.
Shot here, and fighting that one off was Geisbeck, as he had a hard time getting that one and making the save.
Yeah, it came up over his blocker elbow, and he actually moved his head a little bit so it didn't smack him in the mask. A great shot by Ohio. And again, I don't know what they're seeing, but they seem to be coming in on the blocker side all the time and trying to hit the upper corners.
A lot of Ohio players here scouting out the UNLV Drexel game yesterday. They were paying attention. Some of them made the trip up. Spent a couple of days up in Columbus.
Yeah, I like it when they listen to our broadcast too. Ouch!
Man,
oh my gosh!
Here, ow.
Oh, that's got to hurt. That might be a collarbone.
And right now, Cameron Fink is holding his forearm, and he
is in pain. Boy, I tell you, that's the tough thing. You're running full speed, and all of a sudden your skates come off from underneath you, and
it's a hip.
He's moving though. Man, I tell you, that's better than the alternative.
Steel post there, went down awkwardly.
Well, so as we get into this matchup, we got a little delay here with a injury on the ice. So far, Boz, we're 8 minutes in. What do you feel about this period versus the second period, the first period?
I think it's more of the same, honestly. You think of everything that's going on, and right now it's two teams that are hustling hard and playing hard. Obviously, it means a lot because you win or go home. But some of the things here, we just want to thank you for joining the broadcast. Of course, this is the second game of the day. Game 1 of the day, won by number 3 Lindenwood, beating Davenport by a score of 5-2. And we have some action going on as well. We're going to take place here at the Ice House after this game. Number 2 Adrian taking on number 15 Stony Brook, and this is one that a lot of the ACHA officials are definitely looking forward to, considering it should be a good game. Stony Brook, of course, they handed Adrian their first loss of the year, and it was a well-contested hockey game.
Yeah, and what Stony Brook did yesterday was really so impressive. They came in and just took it to Pitt. Pitt scored the first goal, and then all of a sudden you thought, and they were. If you actually looked at the size going on between the two teams, you would have thought, that Pittsburgh would have prevailed. I think they had 20 pounds on the other on Stony Brook players. But I tell you, the speed, the hands, the quickness, the skating ability on all 4 lines by Stony Brook, I walked away really, really impressed with what they're able to do as a team.
Of course, we haven't seen Adrian yet at the tournament, but to come into this tournament with a number 2 seed, you expect a lot out of Adrian. Yeah,
and I'm not sure if I have my stats right, but they might have been the one that gave Minot a loss this year. So those are the number 1 and 2 seeds of the tournament, and it'll be a good matchup if it gets all the way through. But again, Adrian's got to get through Stony Brook.
Of course, Minot State coming in the number 1 seed. They are playing the number 16 seed in Arizona, kind of a Western States matchup between Minot State and Arizona. Arizona, of course, played last night. A really exciting game against Missouri State.
Yeah, we've seen, you and I have been fortunate enough to see both teams 4 times. And the thing that impresses me about Minot, and I think former Utah coach John Bertinelli have put it best. He says, they make the difficult look simple, and if you watch them, they don't make any long passes. They've never stretched out the ice. They have great puck support. It's 20 feet or less. Most of the passes are 10 feet. They just come up the ice, and it's just saying bang, 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 all up, and they're just twisting the other team around. It'll be fun to see what they are able to do. I think Arizona's in for a big, big fight.
Well, we do want to mention Cameron Fink still on the end boards, and they did bring out the stretcher, so we hope it's nothing too serious, and that board is just out there for precautionary reasons. But he did go in you did go in rather hard into that near side post and really awkward into it. And, you know, hopefully we're hoping for the best for him. And
yeah, he's the best thing we can say is they've got his head supported by a towel. He's awake. He's moving all of his limbs except his right arm, and so they're not bringing out the headboard. They're just bringing it out so they can get this lad off the ice and go from there.
Well, we're going to pause quickly here for a media timeout as we all hope that Cameron Fink down there on the end boards is good. But we'll take a short break, and we'll be right back here with this matchup between UNLV and Ohio.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron's Championship Rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA National Champions and Hall of Famers. Boston's Pizza Restaurant and Sports Bar, gourmet pizza, burgers, wings, and more. We've got you covered. And by Marathon, fueling the American spirit. The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by the Columbus Blue Jackets. For tickets and more, visit bluejackets.com. R-Bar, the official ACHA 2018 Nationals post-game hangout and best hockey bar in Columbus. And by the Greater Columbus Sports Commission. Columbus has no off-season. The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by the Columbus Blue Jackets. For tickets and more, visit bluejackets.com. R-Bar, the official ACHA 2018 Nationals post-game hangout and best hockey bar in Columbus. And by the Greater Columbus Sports Commission. Columbus has no off-season. The 2018 ACHA
And back here at the Ohio Health Ice House in Columbus, Ohio, we welcome you to game number 6 of the Division I National Championships, and kind of a bit of a somber mood as Cameron Fink is still down on those M boards just in front of the Ohio Health logo boards. They have opened the corner doors. The stretcher board is currently out on the ice. I think they're trying to strap him to it. And right now, this is kind of taking a serious tone, unfortunately.
Yeah, it appears that it might be his left hip, and the reason they need the board is a femoral artery going through there. And if there's a sharp fragment in there, that's the one that you don't want to have any problems with. He is awake, he's moving, but again. Unfortunately, in hockey, it's a very fast-speed physical game, and we really hope that Mr. Fink is able to get off the ice here and recover really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. They've opened the corner boards. The game 3 teams that are coming in today, they've currently been redirected away from that end of the rink as they're trying to get Cameron Fink to safety and get him checked out. I'm sure X-rays and MRIs are for sure in order after an injury like this. And
yeah.
Of course, when a player goes down and is on the ice for this long, you hope it's nothing too serious, but signs kind of point that way.
Yeah, and it'll be tough to get the rhythm. But switching gears here, we had the opportunity as we were setting up here pre-broadcast to have the Red Wings, Detroit Red Wings, come out for their morning skate. They're here in town to play the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets won last night, and I got to tell you, the Blue Jackets have put on a first-class tournament here. It is just remarkable what they've done for the ACHA with all the signage, putting the name in the ice, and welcoming hockey. I mean, a lot of these kids that are, everybody in the NHL has played at a level that's been at this kind of a level, and when you're in the ACHA D1 like this, most of these kids can be at the D3 level. It's just a choice of where they want to go to school, what major they want.
Interestingly enough, I mean, you talk about the NHL and partnering up, of course, UNLV, home to the newest NHL franchise in the Vegas Golden Knights, and they've put on a really tremendous year in the hockey world. I don't think anyone saw that they'd be the #1 team in the Pacific Division right now.
Well, the only way this has happened before is when the NHL went from the original 6 to 12, and then you actually had an opportunity to be able to, to get a playoff team out of an expansion team when they expanded, they doubled the league. But before that, it's almost unheard of in modern hockey for an expansion team to have this much success. I mean, talk about the GM of the year. I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, he was able to select a team. Some of these guys might have it playing with an edge because they think they're cast-offs.
We're seeing the replay right now, and he went hip first. I think they have applied a tripping minor to Ohio. The guilty party in there is Thomas Picorni. We're a little bit on a delay with the monitors here, and that's why we didn't get to see it until right now. But just looking on it, I mean, right now the paramedics are here. The ambulance is outside, so kind of a serious injury. I think I have seen it once before. I had the opportunity to work with baseball as well, and I saw someone go hard into the center field wall, and it was this type of injury. So, you don't want to move him because you don't want to cause more serious injury to the athlete, the student athlete. And one of the things with this is you want to, everyone's here to have a good time.
Yeah, and this is what they want. I think what's great about hockey is you've got the Ohio players here, the respect that they have for what's going on, the respect that the friends that the UNLV plant, they're taking a knee, they're waiting for things to happen, and we'll hopefully get back to hockey here, and we'll go from there.
Well, now the paramedics have come in. The stretcher is on the ice, so this might be a little bit of time. And of course, #1 here, the thing that we want to mention is that Cameron Fink's safety takes priority out of whatever happens on the ice. As much as this is a tournament and an opportunity for everyone to have fun, to have a good time, right now we have to remember that these are student athletes on the ice. Education and their safety comes first before anything, really.
Yeah, you want to be competitive. You want to win, but this is a small pause and a pall on the tournament so far. We hope everybody walks away fine. But again, our best wishes to Fink and his family, and we'll get back to hockey pretty quickly here. So the next game that we have up, as we talked about, was we've got Adrian against.
Here's another replay here. We'll
Okay.
We'll take a look at this. Of course, a little bit behind. There goes Picorni's stick. So, I mean, he did get the puck, and there was a bit of a trip, and there's nothing really Fink could have done, but it was hip first right into that steel post.
Yeah, and again, there's a two type in the NCAA, which is a handbook that the ACHA follows. They do require 10-inch pegs in the post, or what's called the Wiley post, which is a less intrusive post that sticks to the ice under three prongs rather than just the one. In order to take the delays of the game away, because again, if you just have these kids are big, these kids are skilled, and just the goalie can easily kick off. If you're in amateur hockey, just a little single spike divot that they have, that divot's not more than a quarter inch, and you can kick that, and it just takes this takes the game away. But the consequences of having something like that, that's the goalie's got to say, man, I'm so glad I didn't hit him with my skates.
That's a lot of speed going into that net. I mean, you talk about these players, of course, ranging from 18 to 25, 26 years old. And, I mean, just next door, you see NHL players skating around at 40 miles an hour, and these kids not that far off, especially on their skates. I mean, there are a lot of athleticism, a lot of speed that they can generate, but going into a post like that is it's really heart-stopping.
Yeah, and again, the NCAA reviewed this, 2 or 3 years ago when they decided to go this direction, requiring it. And again, it was more to keep the flow of the game going and the pace. And unfortunately, choices are made. And as everybody knows in life, certain choices have certain consequences.
So Fink now on the stretcher. They've immobilized him. I think they asked Fink to see if he could get on, but now he's on there and he's going to be carted off. So, our thoughts and prayers are with him as you see the UNLV players going over to him. I'm sure they're going to speak with him, give him their well wishes as they are starting to cart Cameron Fink off the ice.
Yeah, it's we'll see what how this affects both teams, because it does affect both teams. Now every kid on the ice here has got this in their head that things can happen, and it's how do you put that cloud out of your head, especially if you're UNLV. This is your friend, this is your teammate, this is someone you've been on the ice with forever, and there's no retribution here. It was, the skates just came out. It wasn't a vicious hit to take him. It was nothing intentional. Just all of a sudden, you get over on that angle and you get touched from behind like that. All of a sudden, your skates just, if you watch that replay, both skates came out from underneath them, and at that point, you're sliding. I mean, you're snow angeling, and it's you just hope you don't run into something like this. It's like falling and skiing, and all of a sudden you go sliding. You just hope there's no rocks, trees, or cliffs.
The dangers of the sport are real. The hits do register, and now the tough job for both teams to try to get back to hockey right here. A 2-minute power play for UNLV. It's a trip to Thomas Picorni after that. Now back for UNLV. So UNLV right now 0 for 2 on the power play with 12:27 left here in the second period. Back up for Toronto. Now down low for Williams, turned away there by Thomas. And Ohio clears the zone as Geisbrecht will hold the puck and give it up to his teammate behind his own line. Now for Briga. Briga takes a stick a little bit up high, now up ahead for Williams. Williams dumps it slow, giving chase down low is Brett. Now behind the Ohio net, angled off the boards and out of the zone. And the first 2 rushes for UNLV doesn't generate any shots.
Yeah, you can even tell on Ohio coming back to defend here as they go pick up the puck. There's a little bit of speed came off both teams. That lactic acid sets in pretty quickly for that long of a pause, and you get cold. It's
shot here, and it went up and over the net.
I thought I hit the netting. I'm surprised play didn't stop. I thought I saw the net bow a little bit when it got touched.
Now back for Geisbrecht as he settles it down, and watching a couple UNLV players was Timmy Turnow. Up ahead, Toronto trying to generate speed through the neutral zone. And on in, left the puck there. I believe he's trying to leave the puck there for Jonah Pearson. Now half boards is Pearson. Back up to the point. Now back for Toronto. Now down low for Pearson, back up to the top for Daniels. Daniels, and look out here, there's a souvenir.
Well, for those of you that aren't here in the arena, when we arrived yesterday, there's apparently a pet in the building, a bird that's been in here for 2 days, and that puck just about took that bird out. All of a sudden, he was resting nicely over on the railing there, and it just missed that bird, and it startled him, and he flew up over to the glass on the other side.
It's going to be Daniels, and he wins the faceoff perhaps too cleanly as it goes all the way back. Geisbrecht will guide this one up for Gordon. Up ahead for Daniels. Daniels was trying to guide this for Mayer.
And he just didn't inverted the icing because the clock was ticking off the last bit of the power play opportunity.
An errant pass as a soft tries to recover. And angle this one off the boards up and high was Gordon. Now for Lubin. Lubin one-on-one with a soft. Shot here, and they score! Ryan Lubin's first of the tournament, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Bobcats.
Yeah, Lubin came in, he slowed his speed down, and I think that Geisbrecht thought that his defender in front of him was going to help him out, and all of a sudden Lubin just snapped it off his stick, high over the glove, up in the corner. Again, that's the shot they've been looking for the entire game. They've seen something on film or watching scouting yesterday that send it high over the glove.
Lubin as we're checking, and UNLV might have been asking for a review. They're talking with one of the officials right now.
Offside? I don't think
that might be what it is. Right now they're having a conference within the circle. We'll see who goes into the box, but offside might be the only thing that would be challengeable at this point in time.
Yeah, unless there was something behind the play, some infraction. I didn't see the referee's hand up, so that would nullify the goal. Also, if we'll see what occurs here.
Well, so they're still talking about it down in the circle. I mean, from up here, just looking at it live, I feel that Lubin was onside. Maybe head coach Anthony Greener saw something different.
Well, again, he's behind the play, so he's got a much different angle than we have up here. But I apologize. I think we do have a good goal.
So the linemen do not go into the box, so we will not have a review. Still having a conversation over at that UNLV bench. Yeah, we're looking at the replay. That replay looks onside to me right now.
Yeah, there was a bit of jawing there, and you always have to be careful. There's refs have to be you have to have thick skin, but there's only so much that they're even their rules say you have to take. You know, if you feel you're getting abused, it could be a penalty, even a bench penalty.
Finally offside here as Geisbrecht settles this one down. Now up the other way goes Ruiz.
Again, you got to wonder what that pause took out of Ben Grubeck in goal. If something was in his head, or he just got chilly. It's hard for goalies to even come off the bench and just take over a game.
Up ahead, trying to sashay his way through defenders. Lawson up ahead for Rudin as the Bobcats have iced the puck.
Yeah, we've got 9:32 left here in the second period. 1-0 for Ohio. They've come alive here, as we said, from the 9-minute period on. They've been a tough opponent for UNLV.
Face-off win here by the Rebels. Toronto tried to angle this one, was maybe looking for a stick. Now the other way, 3-on-2 ensuing. The Bobcats onside. Now back to the front and turned away. Maybe went off a skate of a UNLV player in front. Now back to the point goes Evangelisti. Evangelisti stick handling through a defender, and a couple is now back. Shot here and went off a blade behind the net.
Yeah, Ben never saw that until it was up and over his head.
That'll soon Houston down low for the Bobcats. Back up here, intercepted. Here goes Cody Williams. Down her side and just dumped in there by Colby Daniels. Around the boards we go. Now out in front, Evangelisti will carry this one out of the front of the net and fans on the pass. Into the corner goes Kozubski. Actually, excuse me, now Kozubski has the puck behind the net. That was Williams. 8 and 9, a broadcaster's nightmare.
Yeah, we had Missouri yesterday.
Still on front, a shot! It went over the top of the net.
Wow, they pulled the chance out of all of that. That was fantastic for UNLV.
Back corralling the puck. And this one just pitchforked up into the neutral zone. We're corralling it now is Jonas Gordon. Near side boards, this one pops out. And a good job there by Michael Province. Houston tying up a Rebel player down low. I believe that was, again,
boy, he's getting hooked. He's getting now. Oh, we might have an offset. Depends if they give UNLV. It was a holding call. Could have been a hook. Is there offsetting here?
Evangelisti and Cody Williams exchanging blows, and that'll put Ohio on the penalty kill. Jacob Houston, 2 minutes for a hold.
Again, lots of jawing going on here. You got to be careful. Again, some refs are better than others, but you argue too long, and you got 10-minute misconduct, and you're going to miss 10 minutes of the game.
Well, you're allowed to harass a player, but there are rules to that harassment.
Yes, there are. What I always was interested in, though, is when there's an infraction and the refs try to explain what they did all the way. It's not recognized by many refs that it is not a teachable moment for that young lad. Emotion's too high at that point.
Now back, and it'll go to Williams. Williams for Barriga. And Elijah Barriga's shot was blocked by Lubin, who scored the only goal of the game so far. Settled down by Thomas, left for his defender there in Fiella. Now back, Lubin's rubbed off there by a UNLV player. Into the corner play goes. And bringing it out goes Elijah Barrera, who he scored, or excuse me, Barriga. He scored in one of the matches between these two teams way back in October. Sending this one deep is Cody Williams. It was settled down by Jimmy Thomas, and this one just iced all 200 feet.
Yeah, Ohio's not given an opportunity on this power play to get set up here. Very aggressive and along the boards, and again, forcing him to come up the sides rather than up through the middle.
65 seconds left on the UNLV power play, their third one of the game. This one up ahead off of a soft stick. And now up ahead, and Black all by himself. Black into the zone. Saved by Geisbrecht, and a marvelous one at that, as in close was Cody Black. 43 seconds, and this one
pops
off
out of the zone.
Stick of Jonas Gordon. Up into the corner play goes. Hazel's going to have to win that race there. Backhands it up and out of the zone. And with speed, Black. But winning the race there, who had a head start, was Tristan Mayer. Mayer circles around. Up ahead for Daniels. Daniels puts the brakes on and up ahead. Shot here by Sachs, and off the pad. Save by Thomas.
Thomas got a last-minute nanosecond peek at that to flash the leather.
Up ahead, and this one angled out here with 2 seconds and 1 on the power play. The penalties expired with 5:50 left in the second. Good forecheck there by Evangelisti. This one will come out of the zone. Rafael will just try to angle this one off, and it hits the linesman. Now skied up here, and Geisbrecht has seen enough of this and wants to put a halt to this play.
Wow, really good action back and forth. And, Gordon had a shot here coming up ice. West Kelowna Warriors from the BCHL. They've got few BCHL kids on UNLV. And so we've got some junior players against junior players in here playing in the ACHA D1.
That was Craddock and Lawson doing battle in the face-off circle. Back, and UNLV will try to break this one out. Now up ahead and off the back skate of Zach Lawson, and he's ran into the boards rather rudely by Craddock. Canceled out. Now down low for Craddock. Shot here, I think that went off a post or maybe a pad. And offside goes the Bobcats with 5:07 left in the middle frame.
Yeah, good action here, and it's getting a little frisky out there on the ice. I think everyone wants to make their mark. There's a little bit more jawing going on, a little more physicality. We've got ourselves a hockey game, end-to-end action.
And this one taken by Jake Sachs of the Skate Rebels. Sachs trying to generate some speed, and currently the Rebels offside. Now finally tagging up was Sheldon Brett and Jake Sachs. Now Brett applying some pressure there. A good read by Jonas Gordon. And now finally back out at his own blue line goes Plonsky. Now up ahead, Brett would try to knife that one down. He'll just backhand this below the red line. Up around the boards we go. Coming up to play the puck goes Gordon. Gordon with a shot into the skate of an Ohio player. And now trying to generate some speed back out is Garrett Elmore. One-on-one with Toronto. Good stick there by Toronto. Rubs off Elmore and then rubs it into the boards. Now back out, and I think we had a hand pass here from Elmore. And oh, here we go.
Yeah, two big lads. A little discussion here going on there, and send somebody here.
Well, Elmore was involved with him, and so was Jake Sachs. And that's a size mismatch if just looking at the height differential of both players.
Yeah, again, got to hand it to the refs. They just sent both players to the benches rather than the box. And, it's okay to let the emotion up in this game. It is an emotional game after all.
Nice steal there. Shot here and into the UNLV logo of Ben Geisbrecht, who for the most part, actually for most of this game, has played a remarkable netminder.
Yeah, he's been keeping his team in the game, and he's not been giving up any rebounds. He's been a sponge, and everything that's come to him, he's been able to handle.
So number 4 Ohio, number 15 UNLV up ahead, and it was behind Cody Williams. He couldn't get to it.
Yeah, you just never know if it's the adrenaline with the passer or if the adrenaline of the skater, but there's been a couple of times they've been just to the back or to the heel of the player running up ice.
Now Daniels just tried to send this out in front, and here we go. And things are getting a little helter-skelter here at the Ohio Health Ice House.
It was interesting. He got hooked all the way around from the net on, and I think we're going to have a Ohio penalty here for. No, maybe not.
Well, Williams is headed that way, and it's a slash. So coincidental 2-minute minors. We're going to go 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, a little more space, a little more room to move around. The pace usually picks up, and again on 4-on-4, not quite like 3-on-3. 3-on-3 is all about puck control. 4-on-4, you'll still see some checking to take an advantage, but on 3-on-3, you really don't want to check. All you're doing is taking away your opportunity to hold on to the puck.
So a little bit more ice room for both teams here as we're going 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes up until 1:49 left here in this middle frame.
Yeah, unlike coincidentals where they'd have to stay in until the break of the action, there's only 4 players on the ice instead of 5. So when the clock comes down, both lads, if nobody scores here, are going to be running out of the box as quickly as they can to see if they can take advantage.
Back the other way, trying to bring this out as Picorni. Picorni up ahead and went over the glove of Basil Asaf. Into the corner, play goes. Asaf and Evangelisti involved with that collision. Now the other way goes Jake Sachs. Sachs from a really weird angle, and now finally into the net. A slash there by Thomas as crashed in the net.
All right, got 2-0.
Back the other way. Pass here and a save by Geisbrecht. Maybe Evangelisti held a little too long, and
now we got a penalty here on UNLV.
It's a
4-on-3
cross check.
4-on-3 again, testing the limits of what the refereeing crew is going to tolerate, and I think they just stepped over the line on that one.
A cross check that Jake Sachs is going to go to the box for.
You know, we haven't actually seen any battles in front so far. There's been skill enough from the perimeter that in the shots that these kids have been taking that we haven't actually seen wrestling matches in front of either goalie.
Well, of course, WWE here on Sunday, they have an event here, so maybe some preliminary matches involved with this weekend. Multiple events here at the Ice House.
Yeah, again, if you've never been here, this is actually a beautiful facility attached right to the Nationwide Arena where the Blue Jackets play.
Now let's hark into a 4-on-3 power play, at least for the next 47 seconds. Shot here, and a good save by Geisbrecht.
UNLV doing a great job of keeping into that triangle and not getting suckered into moving out of it, and allows a nice sight line for Ben to see that puck.
Well, tell you what, you've been treated to quite the game here. Really, the only marring of it was the injury to Cameron Fink, who we hope is doing well. If we get any updates, we'll try to update you on his status. Face-off win by UNLV, and there's a collision there. We'll see if Hazel was able to keep it in, and he wasn't. This is coming all the way out and applying some pressure here. Skating well was Jonas Gordon.
Yeah, Gordon just was a good job. Forced him to think that he was coming after the puck, and then all of a sudden just circled back at the dot and came back, got back into position.
Now back up at the top for Lubin, the goal scorer. So the top, Lubin at top of the circle, and goes down low for Harkins. Back to Lubin, and a blocker save from Geisbrecht.
I tell you, Geisbrecht's ability to flash his legs out at the last minute they're actually inspiring.
And keeping this one loose now out in front, and a hit Toronto in front. Now making the save is Geisbrecht, and here we go. That's a nice left straight by Hazel, and Evangelisti got a left straight as well.
Yeah, you could see it brewing. You could see it brewing, and it has nothing to do with the injury to Fink. This is all about the kids on the ice wanting to hold their ground, and neither team is going to back down. That's how they got to this place in the first place. We get some roughing calls, cross-check.
Well, a couple of right jabs and left straights involved in this skirmish.
It's always fun to see when the skate back to the bench here. They got a little jab in, on Falala. How do you say it? Number 17 for Ohio. I'm not good at that. Fiala. So Fiala again almost got slew-footed by UNLV as they were coming back.
Well, just look at a quick peek outside the arena. It looks like I don't know if that was the fire truck or the ambulance that Cameron Fink was put into. He's finally left the arena. So it's going to be a cross-check penalty to Ohio.
Yep, 40 still 4-on-4 for 42 seconds here, and then Ohio will have the advantage.
Back out here. A lot of room to skate with, and looking for Pulasics. Couldn't find him. Up ahead, Asoftis tries to get this one around the boards. Up ahead and off the stick of Evangelisti. Up ahead goes Picorni. Now for Jenkins. Jenkins was trying to get a backhand shot off, couldn't get it done. Now for Fiala.
Good keep in.
Now back the other way and bringing the puck was Gordon. UNLV Pearson and Evangelisti. He's by himself. Let's see what he can do. Shot here! What a save by Geisbrecht! And he gives a little pump of the fist too.
Yeah, he deserves that. Again, one of the best players in the tournament coming in right unabated, and was able to flash that leather. And again, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but they're going after that glove. Whatever they see in the films, they keep going to his left, trying to see if they can catch him. And to his credit, he's not let that happen all game.
Everything up the shot choice for the Bobcats out of Ohio. Now UNLV, that is Elijah Barriga. The last 45 of this period. Barriga up ahead for Kozubski. Dump here, and giving chase was Brett. Now backing up Ohio, not Ohio State. I apologize, Ohio fans. We know the rivalry between Ohio and Ohio State.
Well, you could have said Michigan. That would have really killed it.
Now Barriga, shot here and turned away by Jimmy Thomas.
Yeah, he fought that one off. Blocker side.
Now back, far circle here.
Good cut through. UNLV.
Barriga has to pull off last 2 seconds here. They got to get a shot off.
Oh, that hit him in the knee. That was right above. Now we got something else going on around the goal. Somebody got a stick in the store, I think.
Well, that was Sean Baird who took that shot. He's now up skating off. And after 40 minutes, the lone goal by Brian Lubin, the difference. And right now, a one-goal game, an eventful second period, Jay.
Very eventful. Unfortunately, the injury to Fink, who came off the ice. But I tell you, that what we've seen here, there's been so much action. And the crew here, the referee crew, has been a remarkable job keeping emotions in check. And if it gets to the point where there's a lot of fisticuffs or a lot of extracurricular activity, I've seen referees come in and say, okay, you want to keep this up, I'm going to take one. I'm not going to tell you which ones I'm going to take, but that tells the coaches, gives them the message that tell your players, settle down and play the game, not any hijinks.
Well, we thank you for watching this second period of the ACHA National Champions. We'll take a short break, come back with what's going to be a very exciting third period. I'm
not sure if it's going to, like we talked yesterday in the Arizona game, next goal wins. It doesn't matter who's going to score it, but I think the next team to score a goal here might prevail.
Well, we'll see how this third period plays out, and we'll come back with the third period. You're watching the UNLV Rebels and the Ohio Bobcats on ACHA National Championships YouTube page.
As now, Penn State will look to get this one out of the zone, and only does momentarily. And now playing behind, it's Thompson. Look to stretch it out, hits its mark. Batts has got it. Batts across the way, give and go. Batts gets it back, centers it up, and then this puck ends up all the way down. Right back onto Holforster, and because of the pressure from UMass, Lespacio coming in there and able to make the stop.
17:46 left to go here in the first period. Rasmussen given Sean Bretherick. Penn State, UMass, Pool B action. As we saw the first part of Pool B this morning with an overtime thriller that went in the direction of Lindenwood.
Yes, sir, and now this puck played here. UMass with some pressure here. Here's a quick shot. That went just wide off the shot of Jake Mercier, excuse me. I was told that a million times by the coaching staff earlier. It's Mercier. And a stretch pass out. Poked forward there off of Batts' stick. Held up just a little bit there. And off the boards. Lifted up. Looking for its man, Granatier. In the zone, he got it. Trying to center it out in front. Granatier's got it. Near side. Backhands it around the end boards. A centering attempt made there by Rooster. Wouldn't go. Played back up the way by Duffy. Couldn't get it out. Here's a shot from the point. Relax in front. And Granatier could not get that one home. Lifted up that out of the zone. Played back the other way. Andrew Bucks got it here for Penn State. Pulling. And off the boards and back up the other way. Weird hop off the stanchion will work in favor of the Ice Lions as it's thrown in. Back up the other way. Penn State still controlling. Pass behind. It's intended to target O'Donnell, but he's able to get it in deep. Now Fisher. Stretches that one out, looking for the man. That's the reason why the UMass men are here. Artie Potter. Man who scored the overtime game winner in the regional final versus Keene State College only a few weeks ago. Back the other way, though, are the Ice Lions with the puck. And State across pass. And go! Oh, and a fantastic save by LaCroix. I thought that for sure was going to head in. The only question was it going to get kicked in? It looked like it might have. If it did, but didn't matter. LaCroix stopped it anyway.
Only took a second. He was able to get a pad across with that right-sided leg pad and close the door there. I
And we welcome you back here to the Ohio Health Ice House. I'll work on my tongue twisters and pronunciations. We do have minors at the end of the period coming into the third. It's going to be 2 minutes to number 11, Jacob Houston, for an embellishment and also a penalty to number 36 of Sheldon Brett of UNLV for a slash. So a slash and embellishment to close out the second period as we enter the third period just variously. A couple of things we do want to mention. The goal scorer, it was from
Hawkins.
It was from Brian Lubin, and the assist goes to Tyler Harkins. Time of the goal, 9:46 of the second period. We do also have, we do know that Cameron Fink is being taken to the local hospital. They haven't moved him yet. They are planning on, they want to make sure that they can manage the pain before they do anything with Cameron Fink. So our thoughts and prayers are with Cameron Fink, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery. Of course, UNLV, they still have about a month and some change left on there before the end of their semester, and they have finals. So we want to make sure that he ends up going back to Las Vegas properly. But so far through the first 40 minutes, Jay, your thoughts?
My thoughts are two evenly matched teams. If Lubin didn't have that breakaway, again, he was sensational on that, just coming in. And it's been an evenly matched game. It's gotten more physical in the second period. I expect to see that in the third period. As you can tell at the end there, each team trying to get advantage of the other one by a couple of extracurricular just as the buzzer went. So it's going to be a very spirited affair. Just waiting for UNLV to take the ice.
So far, outstanding goaltending on both ends. Ben Geisberg really has kept the UNLV skating Rebels in this game.
Yeah, and there's even been some really good shots on number 30, Jimmy Thomas, too. So it's been a very the shot selections have been very good. They're all trying to sneak in. It's very not too many coming right up the slot right downtown. They're trying to get them around these goalies and get them moving side to side.
Up ahead off of the stick of Colby Daniels. Now back the other way, behind the net goes the Ohio Bobcats. Up ahead, Fiala. And just offside were the Bobcats.
It sounded like, I can't remember that movie in baseball, Just a Bit Outside.
Oh, Major League, yeah, Bob
Major League Bob Uecker. He made more money, I think, as a broadcaster and comedian, being broadcast than he did as a player. And he always makes fun of himself that way. Legendary
Hall of Fame broadcaster with the Milwaukee Brewers, Bob Uecker. Now, Corny shoots this one on net and gobbled up by Ben Geisbrecht.
Yeah, Geisbrecht, the athleticism in Ben is just top notch. I mean, his ability to move post to post, his ability to flash his glove, his ability to get wide in that butterfly and flash those pads out, just remarkable.
Well, it should be noted that the winner of this game will take on the winner of Illinois and Jamestown Sunday at 1:30. Lofted up and into the corner play goes as back to play it up was Picorni. Now UNLV with the puck down below their own red line. Up ahead was looking for Joe Kozupski. Around the boards we go as going to handle this one is Jonah Pearson. Coming up, playing it, Jake Sachs.
Again, UNLV cautious even in the attack zone here to make sure that nothing gets by them.
Sachs down low and a shot by Kozupski. Knocked down and covered by Jimmy Thomas.
Yeah, a few words exchanged in the last minute jab there. Again, there's some animosity brewing here. Again, these teams have met in the regular season and didn't see those games, but I don't think there's any carryover. I think this has developed in this game.
Of course, these teams trying to get to the final 8 or the remaining 8 of this tournament. And play goes into the corner, one and still in the zone. Finally now out as gloving that one down was Chase Toronto. Kind of a miss pass there by Brask, who's been kind of quiet today. I want to thank you for joining us on the ACHA National Championships stream page for this Friday matinee game between UNLV and Ohio. Gloved up here, and now shot here, top of the circle, one over the glove of Jimmy Thomas.
Yeah, Jimmy saw that one, but it came in a little bit faster than he thought. Good shot, right in the slot.
Shot here, pad save, and somewhere in between the pads of Jimmy Thomas, a good save there. 17:56 left.
Jimmy rarely had time to come out and challenge that shot. He saw it at the last minute and was able to get that leg pad down on the left there and smother that puck. No rebound.
Pretty close to having this become a tie game.
Yeah, this is a fun hockey. I hope all of you watching this broadcast are here and also in person are enjoying this.
Shot here, they score! Cody Williams! His first of the tournament, his 5th point of the game.
Wow, Jimmy reacted pretty late. He actually didn't know that puck was with him until it hit him, and that's when he made the reaction. And that split second came right up over the left pad, right underneath the glove. And again, you could tell by his reaction, he didn't know it was coming until he actually felt it touch his pad.
And after 2:07 of the third period, a goal from Cody Williams makes this an equal game again. Now Sachs coming in. Sachs out in front, still out in front here, trying to get it away is Garrett Elmore. Now up top, back to Sachs, and now bringing this one out is Craddock. Now just in front of the refereeing area is Crandall. Crandall and Craddock up ahead, and now Sachs through the neutral zone. Rubbed off there by, or just out muscled by Elmore. Up and angled off of the glass. And Elmore and Sachs exchange a couple of shoves. Now near side for Lawson, up ahead, and a nice little collision there involving Elmore and I believe that was Jonas Gordon at another collision down at the end boards.
Yeah, this is actually what we expected in this tight of a game, that both coaches probably sent the message that we got to put the body on to make sure we take the time and space and make the decisions that the players have to make shorter and shorter.
Now up ahead and losing control there. Now back the other way goes Ohio. Jenkins had his pass soccered away by Asaf. Now Toronto watching Fiala into the corner. Puck still loose. Into the corner goes 3 Bobcats. Shot here, and it went to the skate of Frank. Into the corner. Now at the end boards.
Neither team wants to give an inch here. Just incredible hockey to watch.
Lamprin, and this one finally was pitchforked out. Getting back to it was Gross. Nice glove there by Gross, and he'll just pitchfork this back into the UNLV zone where Ruiz will take control of it. Good move there to squeeze through using the boards. Back out, and a shot wide by Elijah Barriga.
That was a high hit given to UNLV there.
Now 4-on-2. Now out in front, and making the save, staying cool and collected, was Ben Geisbrecht.
Yeah, you can tell the players are starting to take numbers to get their pound of flesh back, because it's the hitting is picked up. The behind the scenes little hijinks have picked up. Boy, neither team, I mean, it's a 1-1 game. We got 15 minutes to decide it or go into overtime.
Face-off win back for, I believe that was Plonsky, now up ahead. And this one just dumped in, and icing waved off as UNLV won that race. Up ahead, good forecheck here by the Rebels. Play goes up at the half boards, now sent right back up and off the leg pads. Corralled and shot by Brett, but it wasn't a good one, as having his stick tied partly through that shot. Now Evangelisti in the corner. He takes a forearm shiver from Kozubski. Now back out, and finally up comes the Bobcats. Back played for Plonsky. Plonsky gets rubbed in by Evangelisti. And now up ahead, cross-ice pass up and out of the zone. Shot that was well short by Jake Sachs. Reams around the board and finally out, where Toronto will just ladle this one back in.
Yeah, you can tell that these two teams are in the upper division of the D1, given that the way they are playing all three sections of ice. We didn't really see that yesterday. We saw a lot of two-zone
shot
play.
Here that went wide by Lubin.
Lubin's been around the puck all evening, hasn't he? Or all afternoon, I should say.
Play up at the half boards now for Hazel. He just couldn't get the shot off. Back goes Jenkins, and it'll go for Black here near side. Caring about the boards being watched there by, I believe that's Hetzel.
Yeah, every player coming up the boards here is going to get harassed. It's a gauntlet that they have to go through.
Hazel with a shot that gets blockered away, and getting turned around there was Geisbrecht. He was really aggressive on that save.
He's got quite the howler, doesn't he, Hazel?
Now up ahead and going to have to angle this one out and just choosing to go up and over everyone or the Rebels. Robbed by Fiella as this one goes deep. It was tipped, so no icing. Angled up and didn't quite reach the netting. Now out in front, Elmore. Elmore, who's a left-handed shot, they're trying to get it back to his forehand. Now back the other way, Craddock here near side corners.
Yeah, I like what Ohio's doing. They're trying to find the soft spots in open ice. They've always got somebody hanging around in the open.
Yeah, it's a hand pass here as Elmore arguing that he tried to knock it down, was ran into a check, but either way, hand pass the ruling, and the faceoff will come outside.
Yeah, they both teams came onto the ice in this third period, loaded for bear, and got a tie game. This is got 13 minutes left to either decide this or go into overtime.
Craddock, face-off win for the Bobcats. Now for Picorni. Rubbed off the near side half boards, and that's a heavy collision there. That was a missile coming out. Now back goes Williams, who scored for UNLV. Up ahead for Barriga, just outside, and this one was blocked. A nice shot blocked there by Jake Fiella.
Getting those sticks in the passing lanes for Ohio.
Up ahead, Gross. Onside where was Crandall. Now out in front, and in front, a save by Geisbrecht. Point blank shot about 6 feet out from Nick Gross.
Wow, that was a great scoring chance for Ohio, and even a better stop by UNLV's netminder. Hanging with the puck, he saw it all the way, stuck with it, and again, his athleticism, getting those pads down is it's fun to see.
Out in front, play goes behind. Finally win by Ohio, still out in front. Shot here, they score! Gabe Lampridge, his first of the tournament, gives Ohio a 1-goal lead again.
Yeah, they had been down in the butterfly, and the puck squirreled out right at the top of the crease. All you had to do is put your stick on it and just raise it straight up, and it's going to go into the crossbar. Glove side, like we've been talking all evening, glove side again. There we go. There we have that 2-1 lead for Ohio, and my prediction might be wrong.
It was just outside the crease there. Nice shot by Gabe Lamprin at 7:29 of the third.
Well, I think this is going to light a fire under UNLV. We'll see what happens here. They might have to take a chance with maybe not until the 8 or 9 minute mark where they're going to start pinching, but they're going to have to release their D to get back in this game at some point.
Now up ahead here near side for Pulasic. Was looking for Evangelisti, and it went through his skates. Angled off the board, shot here, and into the glove and logo of Ben Geisbrecht.
Again, I'm very impressed with Ohio's playmaking. They've always got someone with the puck, and for whatever reason, they get attraction. They get the UNLV players to watch that puck, and they're sneaking somebody into the soft white areas, where nobody's guarding them. It's just a good hockey IQ that these kids from Ohio have. Can I call them kids? Young men?
Yeah, kids are fine. Young men probably works better. That might be the more official term, as the Rebels have iced the puck.
Go ahead. I was going to say, today's day and age, everything you say is can be taken sideways.
Well, of note, going after the first 40 minutes of play, the shot count 26 in favor of the Bobcats and 13 for the Skating Rebels of Las Vegas.
Yeah, if Geisbrecht is giving his team a chance to win this entire these entire 40 minutes here. Actually, 50 minutes now.
Well, trying to bring this one out and finally finds Cody Williams. Williams had 4 points yesterday and he had a goal today. That brings his total to 5. 4 assists in the game against Drexel. Now with speed. Went black and this one gloved down by Kozubski. Excuse me, that wasn't Kozubski, that was Hetzel. DDD pass now up ahead. This is Kozubski trying to generate some speed through the neutral zone. Shot here, and that was through the legs of an Ohio defender out in front. Looked like Thomas was a little bit late reacting. Now back a turnover here. UNLV walking in was Pearson still out in front. They score! Joe Kozubski ties the game.
That was a beautiful play. They got Jimmy Thomas moving side to side, and no fault of Jimmy's. He had to hold that post to the very last minute. You slide that puck across, and you've got an open cage on the other side. Again, well executed by the Rebels.
Well, it's kind of been a mystery for both teams of how to solve the goaltenders, but so far, 3 goals in this third period, and we're knotted back up at 2.
Yeah, I was going to say before this goal was scored that this is when the nerves start to get there, and the kids with the steely-eyed nerves are the one that are going to prevail here, and we had it right there. Puck down low in the corner, taken behind the Rebel cage, trying to break it out.
Yep, this one ladled up here as Polonsky, excuse me, Pokorny had trouble. 2-on-1 here, now out in front. Good save there by Thomas.
Wow, Jimmy, again, both goalies giving their teams a chance to win this hockey game. Going to have an icing here.
And the Bobcats have iced the puck with 10:01.
Yeah, Ohio, you can tell they haven't played in 2 weeks at this point of the game. We've got a bunch of leaning on sticks, trying to make sure they get that air back in those lungs and so they can get that brain moving.
And looks like Evangelisti is going to get kicked out of the circle.
They've really policed the circle in this game. Even the linesmen have been telling people.
Out in front and a solid save by Jimmy Thomas.
Right in the numbers. Bullseye.
And we're going to take we're going to take a quick break with 9:57 left here in period 3 to score 2-2. And we'll take a short break and come back with the rest of the third period.
Woo!
National championships are brought to you by the Columbus Blue Jackets. For tickets and more, visit bluejackets.com. R-Bar, the official ACHA 2018 Nationals post-game hangout and best hockey bar in Columbus. And by the Greater Columbus Sports Commission. Columbus has no off-season.
And welcome back to the Ice House, just adjacent to the Nationwide Arena where the Columbus Blue Jackets play their home games. It's, of course, the practice facility of the Columbus Blue Jackets. A great game so far. 9:57 left in the third as it was a goal by by Joe Kozubski, which has made this game tied once again as we enter the last 10 minutes of this third period. And we want to thank you for joining us. Of course, Jay Sewell alongside Boz Echevarri for this broadcast. And now out in front, Toronto tried to shoot this to get a quick shot off. Now out in front, and they hit the side of the net. The shot from Williams.
There's a hesitation by both teams whether that puck was in the net or not.
Oh, man, what a bonanza. Now Crandall the other way. And he was held by Toronto and kind of dragged off of the puck. Now back the other way, the Rebels go. Up ahead here near side for Daniels. Daniels gets this one around the net. The net now just behind the red line. It was Thomas who couldn't handle it. Had it hop off of his own skate, or excuse me, his stick. Plonsky gets us up ahead. Good move there to rub out the attacker and Gordon.
The old cell hip check, always effective. Let's call that angling the player off.
Cutting someone off for sure. Still inside of the zone, and now finally out. The Bobcats get it. Now here near side for Plonsky. Now for Toronto, left for Kozubski, up and over. Glove down by Kozubski as he's canceled out there. And there's a late hit applied by Baird.
Late hit, and I think we might have a penalty before that.
Well, no one's coming over to the bench right now. Tell you what, it seems like the air's kind of been taken out of this building if you're an Ohio Bobcat fan.
I'm not sure what that whistle was for unless the net come off its moorings.
Might have been
or was it a hand pass or
maybe
something?
A hand pass.
Yeah, I might have had a hand pass as they reaching up for the puck. Again, that's instinctive to do that, to try and take advantage of the play and set it down.
Now Frank, a shot here, turned away by Geisbrecht. Now out in front here, soccered away. Shot by Black, went high over everyone, maybe looking for that top shelf again. Back to Black, out in front here, stick save, and corralled by Geisbrecht.
Yeah, as the Ohio player went by, he gave Ben a little spinorama, and Ben turned around in the corner to look at the referee, and the referee didn't even see it, didn't even acknowledge him. So again, good job by the refs to just let him play. There's going to be some behind-the-scenes stuff and shenanigans, just trying to get in everybody's head.
Won by the Rebels. Toronto will just go short side here, but kept in as it took a weird carom off the glass. Back in the corner.
Yeah, this is neutral ice for both. They don't really know how the boards are going to react or what's going to happen.
They tripped up Lubin, now out in front, down low. Was Rubin now out in front, trying to clear us off, and it went right into the skate of Tyler Harkins. Now with speed, Barriga. Kozubski, who tried to get a shot off here from a weird angle, couldn't get it done. Up ahead and over everyone as Hazel's going to have to give chase. Gets it up at the half boards and finding the stick of Lubin. Lubin generating some speed through the neutral zone. Up ahead, tries to get by a defender, can't do it. Now out in front and just guided away by Toronto. Circle back down, shot here, still out in front. Hazel was down low. Back for, I believe that's Kozubski, who's down low. Hazel tried to get a stick on it. Below the red line, couldn't do it. Up ahead, meeting here, now back down low as Toronto goes back for a soft. The soft tries to angle this one back out. Finds his UNLV player, does, but the pass was intercepted by Hazel right around the center circle. Turned away there by Evangelisti now with a puck, generating some speed through the zone. Shot here out in front, a big juicy rebound, and this one hopped up after trying to corral it. Now for Fiala.
It's one of the few rebounds Big Ben has given up.
Backhand attempt here out in front and didn't get to the net.
Yeah, the Bobcats had UNLV on the heels right now. There lots of zone time here.
Evangelisti now back, and it was 3 Rebels and 1 Bobcat, and finally sent out.
Not going to make it for icing.
Evangelisti had to evade a defender, and now that's one guy taking 2 Bobcats, essentially just canceling them out. Now down low goes Brett. Plonsky gets this one all the way around. Now back here, shot turned away. Pad save and a kick save and a beauty right there by Jimmy Thomas.
Yeah, that puck was sitting right there in the slot, and nobody could get to it.
Now Pulasic tried to stick handle away from a Rebel who was coming in. Good pressure there, good check by Gordon, and we'll have a whistle.
Offside. For a minute there, I thought it might have been a penalty. The player coming off the bench went diving off the bench to try and get that puck off UNLV stick.
5:54, high drama here in the third period.
Yeah, this is in my hockey life, this is where I wish both teams could win. I mean, both of them put their heart out on the ice here, and someone's going to walk away and move on, and someone's going to go home, and that's sad to see the way these two teams have played. A lot of heart in both on both benches here.
Well, into the corner went Daniels. Daniels, watch there. He's trying to keep it pinned against the board right now. Now finally out as Cody Williams was there trying to offer some support. Now still on those half boards. Into the corner, trying to get this one up to the point there. Finally does. Shot. That wasn't even close to the net. Up ahead, angled off. Ohio onside here. Lamprey controls it, tries to send it down low for Frank. And just back to the far side corner.
Now, Ohio's been able to activate their cycle from time to time along those boards and then bringing it back out high.
Now here's shot, and having to fight through Frank, who had his stick right there, was Ben Geisbrecht.
Big Ben. I'm not sure if that's his nickname, but I tell you, he's been standing tall in this net all game.
He's been playing big, that's for sure. Ohio literally just peppering him with shots all game.
Yeah, and again, they've been trying to go to that side, but he's been very effective, holding everything off except for the 2 goals.
Face off. Shot up here through a couple of sticks, and a great glove by Geisbrecht. The concentration of his eyes finding that puck, it looked like it changed direction a couple of times.
Yeah, he could probably make a good skeet shooter, or his eye-hand coordination is remarkable. There we go, policing of the circle again. We've seen this all tournament.
Lubin got tossed out here, and a tie up now back to the point. Right down along the half boards. Lubin backhand attempt out front, and Rubin couldn't get a stick on it. Now up as keeping it in was Fiella.
Again, a cycle of the far boards there by Ohio. They're constantly in control of those boards on that right side.
Fiella up high, and I think trying to get his stick on it. Might have been a high stick if he did. Was Lubin. Now out here, Lubin. Shot, and a glove save by Ben Geisbrecht.
A lot of zone time there by Ohio. You got to be nervous as a coach when you see that trying to break out. 4 minutes, 25 seconds. No complacency on either bench. You want to be able to get that puck out of your zone. Better be in neutral ice or in the offensive zone.
Face-off win by Evangelisti, and able to keep that one in was Grant Hazel. Now back all the way around as Hazel's going to have to get to it. He finally just gets it back in for Evangelisti. Canceled out there by Plonsky. Now back and
not out.
Not out. Finally, the Rebels do get it out as having to give chase was Hazel. Now Evangelisti tried to angle it as coming in was Turnow. Nice glove there to keep this one in and just getting it deep. Where the Bobcats backhanded and trying to angle this one out. Kept in here at right in front of the UNLV bench. Conley Palacis.
Ohio in control the last 3 minutes.
Now finally coming all the way out to play this at his own blue line. Evangelisti up ahead. He gains the zone, but not after he turned it over. Now Evangelisti will hustle off as he's just dead tired coming off. Final 3:21 here in the third.
It's a temptation in a tight game like this to constantly put your best players out on the ice, and again, that can have consequences.
The Rebels have iced the puck.
Back we go in Ohio attack zone. That's one thing you learn as a fan if you're in a stadium that's all the way around, is to know what your home team bench is, so you can watch your team in the attack zone twice rather than just once during a hockey game.
Well, almost the air being taken out of here, out of the ice house. The Bobcats fans were all lively at the beginning of the game, and ever since that game-tying goal by Joe Kozubski, have been, for the most part, pretty tense. Up and over, and this is going to go for icing. The Bobcats have iced the puck.
Again, it's going to be some mistake here that probably ends up doing the next goal, because both teams, I've seen a lot of both teams tightening up a lot here in the last 4 minutes. They're getting tight. It's 2-2, 3 minutes left. You know, overtime, anything can happen in overtime. Both benches want to end this game now.
Face-off one here by Colby Daniels. Back all the way to Toronto for a soft, and
Little miscommunication there between the D.
now a soft up ahead for Daniels. The zone here, good keeping Baird to not let it cross that center line. See if Ohio can get the forecheck going. Not yet angled out, it's still out in front now. Soccer to a stick, and up ahead goes Kozubski.
3-on-2 building.
Now Williams, shot here turned away, and at that far corner, and now blockered away by Thomas. Play goes for Lubin, or excuse me, that was Houston who tried to get it up. Now back for a soft for Plonsky. Now just sent right back in for the last 2 minutes. Baird up ahead. This one sticked up and
Not going to
will
make it
not
for
go
icing.
for icing. Doesn't have enough speed. Drop pass there, angled off, and Kozubski will handle this puck. Finally out of the zone. Now back the other way goes the Bobcat. Shot here and off of the skate of Connor Hetzel. Fiala. Left back for Plonsky. OU the chant, followed by Bobcats for this Ohio crowd. Ohio was offsides, and now they play it back. Turning away, now trying to go back for his line mate to Hetzel. Hetzel off the team boards where UNLV's camped out. Now up ahead, Plonsky will just backhand this, peels off for a change. Fiala with the last 62 seconds. Angled up and now gloved down here. Still in the UNLV zone where Grosso will go back. Up top here and sticked away by Jimmy Thomas into the corner.
Nice
50
little
seconds
setup.
left, still not out of the zone as Gross now goes. Trying to generate some speed, and this one just out. And no icing here. Turnow with a shot here. It went off the stick. Now trying to find a solution was Pulasics. Up to the point for Hazel. Hazel thought about walking in. Now right back to Hazel. Hazel will just get this one deep. Wasn't on target. Last 20 seconds. Now up, glove down here by Turnow. Finally up and around the boards. A soft for Toronto with the last 10. We'll see if UNLV can generate anything. Now up ahead goes Barriga. Barriga tried a backhand attempt. He lost a puck. And that will do it. So Game 6 finds that 60 minutes, not enough time to determine a winner.
This is our first overtime game in the tournament here. Will be interesting to see how this plays out. Sudden death, next goal wins.
So they're going to resurface the ice. We'll come back with overtime. And you turn into a good one here from the Ice House. So 60 minutes not enough. We'll come back with the game deciding overtime, and we'll come back with the particulars of that. Thank you for joining us here on ACHA National Championships YouTube page. After 60 minutes, 2-2 the score. Well, show up to the ACHA championships. You never know what you're going to run into. You may have an overtime game, or you may have a dinosaur pop up somewhere in the stands. But we are in overtime. We're about 2 minutes from the start of it, and we welcome you back to game number 6 between the 13th-ranked UNLV Rebels and the 4th-ranked Ohio Bobcats. And it's been quite the game here. A long shift, or a long way to get to the bench for both teams, as the teams have switched sides, particularly for those of you asking, what are the overtime rules when it comes to playoffs? Well, it's pretty simple. 5-on-5 for 20 minutes. If we don't have a winner after those first 20 minutes, we're going to have a full intermission, and then we're going to do it again until we have a winner. It is a golden goal, so there is no shootout. There will be carryover penalties should that be the case, as you could, and as well, whatever you see in regulation time, in regulation hockey, you are going to find in overtime play. Teams have switched ends. The Zamboni is off, and we are going to go to 60-plus minutes here. Boz Echevarria alongside Jay Sewell with a call. Face-off win by Ohio, and into the skates of Picorni. Now up ahead and into the corner play goes, as that will be Plonsky who went back and played it. Now up ahead and sticked up and over, as having to come out is Thomas. He's going to play it. Now back the other way, as Ohio's going to try to get this one out. They don't. Centering pass here and up and over. Bit of a change-up shot there by Cody Williams. Now up ahead, trying to get this one out. Play goes right outside. The shot was well short of that near post. Now Picorni tried to angle this one out, but right there was Jonas Gordon, as now the play goes inside. Lubin trying to angle this one out, intercepted by his own player, as there is Jonas Gordon there watching out in front, and a stoppage here from Ben Geisbrecht, as there was an Ohio player in the area by the name of Brian Lubin who kicked off the scoring here. 58 seconds gone here in the first period, and quite the game as we will converse and follow through here. And it's going to be Evangelisty for the Bobcats. Face-off won by the Rebels. Back the other way into the corner. Now Basil Asof's going to have to play this, and there's a bad penalty.
Yeah, 200 feet away from your own net. That's
and it's a cross check.
Yeah, it's hard to, the refs don't want to call this game, but you got to call that. That was, I know the old Canadian 2-second rule, 2 seconds before he gets the puck, while he has the puck, and 2 seconds afterwards, but that was a little bit late in the eyes of the official, and here we go.
Shots even in the third period between the Bobcats and the Rebels, 11 apiece. Now finally out, so dangerous times for the Bobcats in front of most of their home fan base. Back out in front, and a Toronto went between the legs. Now back up to the top. Toronto decides to go down low, shot over everyone, up and out of the zone.
Yeah, this is when the nerves get there. As you can see right there, a shot into a soft area where no one was ready to receive that puck, and coming back up ice, the Rebels have to reset their power play.
1:20 left on the UNLV power play. Now Lubin the other way. He's going to have to backhand and a save there. It also hit the outside of the net, and there's going to be a penalty as
offsetting call here.
And it's going to be a board here that's going to go against Cody Williams. Or excuse me, Chase Toronto, the guilty party.
Yeah, that one stung a little bit, but the player's up and skating.
So we'll be 4-on-4 for a minute 16, and then the Bobcats will have an abbreviated power play.
This is not what I would expect in an overtime game. Usually people are trying to stay away from mistakes like this. And again, the emotions are really high here. Everybody wants to get off the ice with a win, and I think that's what's getting in everybody's head here.
So out in front here in a cover up by Geisbrecht, excuse me.
Yeah, the ref was on the wrong side. That was a good second ticked off before he blew that whistle, even though it was well covered by Brysek.
So the official word as well, it's going to be 60 minutes after the conclusion of this game. The game between Adrian and Stony Brook will occur. Back the other way, and a pickpocket there by Rudin. He has Lubin with him. Rudin, shot here, glove saved by Geisbrecht, and he's been more than stellar today.
Yeah, lots of open ice out there, but apparently both teams only want to play on half of it. Right down not the short way, but the long way. They're always coming up the sides here rather than trying to come downtown, and I think that's the way this whole game has been played. Both teams are trying to force the teams to the outside rather than let them come right up the middle.
Up ahead, right out there, and I believe that was Harkins who was in front, looking for a tip in. Watch there by Toronto, back to Harkins, and this one chipped outside. Now with speed goes Williams. Williams by himself, and he's being harassed. A shot that was turned away by Thomas.
That got everybody's heart started, both in the fans and out on the ice.
Now up ahead, bringing the puck up is Pulasic. He just dumps this one as he chases. Now back up to the half boards, as now with speed goes Sachs. Sachs around out in front. He hit the side of the net on his shot. Now Gross. Tries to generate up. 11 seconds left on this 4-on-4. Up ahead, and he kind of fanned on that pass. Back the other way is Faella, and he's going to have to corral this. And an errant pass there kind of ended the 2-on-1 opportunity. 40 seconds left now on the Bobcat power play as Faella is being harassed there by Sheldon
energy,
Brett.
Lots of energy on the ice, and
now Lubin out in front. Lubin with a shot here. Bit of a changeup, and it was out in front as it was glove side to Geisbrecht. Now Gross from the logo. Shot here turned away. Looked like by the leg of Ben Geisbrecht. Out in front here, still out in front. Tying him up was Pulasic, watched by Basil Asaf.
One of those few rebounds given up by Big Ben. Oh, what a clear that didn't go.
Faella, Evangeliski couldn't find the handle. Now out in front. Faella with a shot here. He couldn't get it on his tape the right way. Now still out in front here. UNLV's going to have to clear. And now in front of 2-on-1 for the Rebels. But canceling out Asaf was his own man, and Zach Lawson.
That's when you get to puck watching rather than position watching, and again, so much excitement generated here in the overtime. Period 4, I guess, is what they have up on the clock.
That was Daniels who was canceled out. Let's go Bobcats to chant, and no icing here. Out in front, it was a save by Thomas.
Oh, flashing that leg pad. Oh my God, that was great.
Now still out in front. Someone out in front here unwatched was Zach Lawson.
Wow, both teams have had their chances here. It's just been a remarkable overtime.
Now out in front here. Shot that went wide, was looking for a tip in out in front. Still kept in, and now finally out. Nice glove there by Pearson.
Yeah, it has circled back. He had his guy offside.
Getting this one deep was Tristan Mayer. Now back up. At the point is Toronto. Still out front, Jonah Pearson. Now finally up and out where Toronto's at his own blue line. Angle off the boards. Thrown into the far side corner. Going back is Jonah Pearson. He's going to take it and lost the handle on it. Still out in front and trying to clear this was Geisbrecht. Now out and just thrown into the corner was the puck. Evangelisti out in front, and it went off a stick in front. Good blocker save by Ben Geisbrecht.
I mean, you look at Geisbrecht, he's not jumping around. He is so calm, cool, and collected. And he's really kept his team in this game.
Now down. Backhand shot still out in front, still in front. It's in the crease! And the puck is off the net. Oh man, what a bonanza here in overtime.
The puck was just laying right off to the side there, 1 foot away. Everybody trying to scramble for it, everybody diving. Puck came off, or net came off its moorings. Ohio fans on their feet.
This fan base is fired up here. Into the corner play goes. Up at the half board, finally out. Going the other way, Jake Sachs. And the Rebels are offside.
Yeah, just going to his right full speed along the blue line. Forgot about his player left off to his left that was still laying offside.
Rudin soccers it back to his defensive man. Now up for Lubin.
Said Lubin's been around the puck all game long.
Losing is, well, Harkins, and it's going to be a high touch. But Harkins into the corner, and he blew a tire. Talk about what's been a good game here. This has been one of the best that we've seen so far.
Yeah, this is so entertaining, and it's a privilege to be able to watch this game and at the skill level that both teams have. Again, as I say, this is one of those where, as a neutral party, I really would hate to see anybody not walk away with a win here.
Back for Hetzel. Unfortunately, one team's season coming to an end. Maybe within this next 13 minutes and 5 seconds as UNLV has iced the puck. If this game requires more time, it will get another 20 minutes.
Another 20 minutes of 5-on-5. And it's been hard. It's been hard to score in this game. These goalies have put on a showcase, and lots of shots on net, lots of chances, a lot of scoring chances. But these goalies have. It's almost like in baseball. It's been a pitcher's duel here. These goalies.
Back to Houston, a shot here, still out in front. Greisbeck out of position, and they score!
Well, the hometown fans got what they came for. An overtime win. Ben got trapped outside the net. Couldn't corral that puck. And in it goes. One of those, I wouldn't call it a dirty goal, but it wasn't one of those pretty shots. It was just what you want. Get around the net. Any goal's a good goal. There we go. Ohio moving on.
Unbelievable game. I believe that was Gabe Lamprey on the goal scorer. We'll wait for the final totals, but an absolute heartbreaker if you're a UNLV fan. Yeah, it was Lamprey.
What a season for UNLV. First year D1. Whole bunch of new players on this team. I gotta tell you, they can hold their head up high the way they played all this season.
An unbelievable game for the Rebels. An unbelievable season for them to get here. And again, it's unfortunate that a team like UNLV has to walk away after winning one game, and the game that they played the last two games, they should you could very well argue they should be playing, continuing on.
Yeah, they certainly had their opportunities. I tell you, even though it's I've seen it in the NHL before where it wasn't the goalie who won the Stanley Cup that got the goalie award, and I tell you, Ben Geisberg, he held his team in. He gave him every chance to win, and it was just one of those unfortunate bounces that happens in hockey. It's sometimes a game of inches, a game of bounces.
Well, it's a day off for Ohio, and then they're going to take on the winner of Illinois and Jamestown, 1:30 on March 11th. So it's been a great game here. And an unbelievable goaltending show, and you got to tip your cap to both teams. It was quite a remarkable game. It'll be about 60 minutes until the Stony Brook Adrian College game, so we're going to, come right back here for this next game. It should be just on par for this one, and I'm definitely excited for that one.
This is going to be a fun game to watch. Again, we'll head it up and end up our broadcast here. Thanks everyone on the feed. Really appreciate you tuning in to the National Championships.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far. The tournament continues with 2 more games tonight. And for everyone here at the ACHA, Jay Sewell, Boz Echevarri, wishing everyone to have a good night.
And now the whistle blows hand pass. They were running for a whistle and they get one. It's just for hand pass though. 5:06 to go. Second period, 2-1 UMass.